Back to our breaking news in Southern California. Right now, police are still at this active scene in Redlands. They're just now getting into a home connected to one of the mass shooting suspects. He's been identified within the last few minutes as Saeed Farouk. He was killed in a gun battle today. So was the woman with him, Tashfeen Malik. We know the two had some sort of relationship, but we don't know exactly what it was. Police say the two were involved in the mass shooting in San Bernardino earlier today. 14 people are dead, 17 are hurt. The motive at this hour is still not clear, but police are not ruling out terrorism.
It is tough to think about, but in a situation like today's shooting, would you know what to do? Perella Lewis has participated in several active shooter training events and has some advice for you.
Don't wait, evacuate if you're near the shooter. Right. In other words, if I can see the shooter or hear the shooting and I'm still in a public environment, get the heck out of there.
Know where your nearest exits are and take them. But what if you're in a different part of the building and can't see or hear the shooter, but you've gotten word that a killer is on the loose? Jesus says your chance of survival is very high if you lock doors behind you.
And the more you can lock down behind those doors, it's called a layered lockdown. So let's say I can lock the initial doors, but let's say I can go into my office and lock that door, and in my office is a bathroom and I can lock that door. You're good to go.
But what if you're faced with the attacker and have to fight?
In every case where a shooter has been tackled, they've stopped.
The FBI's study shows 67% of the active shooter incidents between 2000 and 2013 ended before police arrived because the gunman either committed suicide or was stopped by a civilian.
I'm a gunman and I'm holding a gun. What should you control? Out of my head, from my head to my toe, what part is the most important for you to control? Well, it's my hand. The hand with the gun. Because we've got videos of 4 guys stopping an armed robber who had a gun, 4 friends out for a night, attacking the armed robber, but they attacked him in his lower extremities and in his chest, and he shot and killed one of them and wounded another because they let his arm loose.
Jesus points out that if you are faced with taking down a killer, acting with a group of people is the most effective way to go. And because these attacks typically happen around lots of people, we need to start thinking as a group.
The first thing that people in America have got to realize is we're not going to be everywhere. We're just not. We can't be. And when these individuals that commit these acts of violence, whether they're ISIS or whether it's the Aurora, Colorado shooting at a theater, they better realize that you are the true first responder.
Perella Lewis, Q13, Fox News.
So what's the big takeaway from all of this that we all need to remember?
The big takeaway is never think it can't happen here. It can't happen to me. So when you're sitting at your desk tomorrow, take a look around you where you work and think about how can I get out of here? What's my escape route? Kind of mentally play a role-playing game in your head, as hard as it is. What would I do if I heard there was a shooter? And if you think about that and you do those drills in your head, when it actually comes time, you'll act rather than freeze.
Good advice.